Alright, so I was going to do a Gandalf build, actually, instead of Balrog. But turns out about 50 other people have already fucking done that. Like, I literally went all out. Like, I got the green blossom for his Kush. I got the seed of a giant tree to look like his pipe. You know, I got Glamdring, the sword that most resembles Glamdring. I went, like, so in detail. Like, all this shit. Anyway, I have to fucking scratch that now. So, we're going to do a Balrog. Alright. Oh, no, I'm straight up fucking fat rolling. Oh, no. Quick! Take it off. Ah, drink up. Is he behind me? He's behind me. Oh, come on. I just want to get your fucking helmet so I can do a goddamn Balrog build. Alright, so, Balrog. This is a Balrog build. Alright, first of all, we just embered up. Just so we have, like, more health. Because we're a Maya, you know, more powerful than the basic bitch. Regular old basic humans. So we've got the ember. Also, the ember has, like, kind of like a fire glowing effect. It's subtle, but, you know, it kind of just, like, adds to the build. Anyway. First of all, let's go with the armor. The equipment, I just did Morn set. The reason for that, there's nothing here that really looks like Balrog in this game. Like, if it was Dark Souls 2, I would have gone with the Smell Demon set, obviously, you know, because the helmet literally looks like fucking Balrog, aka Durin's Bane, because we're doing the one from the film. So yeah, I've got Morn set. That's kind of like looks the most similar. I was gonna use, there were other options such as the dark armor, but it looks way too skinny, you know, especially the legs. So I wanted something a little more bulky looking. So we went for Morn's armor. So yeah, it's just the full set. It's just what we're doing for this build. So for the weapons, I got the Executioner's Greatsword. It's pretty much the weapon that most looks like Balrog's in the film. And obviously we're gonna use the Karthus Flame Arc to buff that up. If you don't have the Karthus Flame Arc, you can just use some charcoal pine resin. That's what I put in the build as well. Alright, so secondary weapon is the whip. Or actually, technically the whip is the primary, and then the sword's going to be the secondary. Alright, so primary weapon, I got the whip. You can use the spotted whip as well. I just have the regular one because I don't actually have the spotted one. Obviously, you want to level these up to plus 10 if you can. And again, we're going to buff that up with the Flame Arc. So there we go. It looks like Balrog's whip. Looking pretty badass. There we go. Alright, so those are our weapons. Obviously we need the Pyromancy Flame, again, plus 10. So rings. We've got the Flame Stoneplate Ring plus 2, increases fire damage absorption. Obviously because Balrog is encased in flames, you know, he's pretty much made out of fire, so he's going to be resistant to it. That makes sense. Fire Clutch Ring increases fire attack but compromises damage absorption. Again, increasing fire attack, we're made out of fire. Makes sense. I have the Deep Ring on and the Hunter's Ring on, obviously. This is just for me personally, just so I can show you the build. But you don't want to be using these if you can. So we would switch that out with the Witch's Ring. Greatly boosts Pyromancies, which is going to boost our fire attacks. You know, again, Balrog is oriented around fire. He's literally like fire personified in a way. He's completely made out of it. So that's what we got for that one. And the last ring is Chlorophy Ring, plus 2. Well, stamina recovery speed, like, we need that shit, you know what I mean? We need that in every build. Also, it kind of fits into the lore, like he's a Maya, so he's gonna have, you know, higher regeneration, more stamina. He's gonna have more endurance than, you know, a regular mortal. So it makes sense that he would have the Chlorophy Ring, you know? Spells. Obviously, I showed you the Karthus Flame Arc. That's kind of standard in this build, unless you want to use, let's see, charcoal pine resin. You can do that as well. Oh, didn't mean to double cast that. So yeah, Karthus Flame Arc, Fire Whip, just because it's a whip, you know what I mean? It doesn't really look like a whip when you cast it, so it's not really necessary, because he doesn't really do that. But it's like a fire whip. It kind of goes with his build. Sorry, I ran out of mana there. Another spell, Firestorm. In the film, Balrog can actually kind of erect firewalls in front of him and around foes as well to kind of trap them in. He did that when they were in the Mines of Moria. Doesn't really look exactly like it, but it is sort of the most similar we can get. You can also use Chaos Storm as well, but I picked Firestorm. So some extra spells we can use for this build is going to be Power Within. Again, give us more damage. It also kind of encases us in this reddish aura, so you can kind of incorporate that into sort of him being encased in fire. Obviously, I mean, it doesn't really look like fire, but it kind of gives you that vibe, you know what I mean? So there we go. So we have power within, we look more Balrog-y, I guess. We look more badass, we look more like Balrog. Especially with the whip here. Alright. Looks pretty dope. Okay. Another thing we could use, these are like optional ones, it's not necessary, but this is just an optional. We can also go for the Flash Sweat. Again, this fits more into the lore if anything else. This gives us more resistance to fire. There we go. Doesn't really look like it, like the effect doesn't work. I prefer the power within, but that's just like for lore purposes. Alright, so for my items, I mean, obviously we need the Estus and Ashen Estus Flask. I popped the Ember there just to give us more health, because we're Maya. I keep saying that, but you know what I mean. Maya, stronger, you know, it kind of fits into that build. I also added in the Red Sign Soapstone, just for invasion purposes. Because we're supposed to be like more of an evil entity, you know, creating havoc on the world of Middle-earth. So, added these in, and these two for invasion purposes, invade other worlds at will, consume to invade another world. Again, I added in charcoal pine resin, that's just an option if you don't have the Carthus Flame Mark, or if you run out of spell use. And the red bug pellet, which temporarily boosts our fire damage absorption. Again, that fits into the sort of lore of Balrog, you know. It's going to have more fire resistance if he's covered in fire. Okay, so for the Covenant, I actually chose the Mound Makers. And the reason I chose this was for the description. It says, they are blithe to those around them. I actually had to Google what blithe meant because I wasn't sure. And it means the disregard for the rights of others. So that pretty much fits into what Balrog is. You know, he doesn't care who he kills. He's very a destructive force, really, you know. So yeah, that pretty much sums up my Balrog build. I hope you guys liked it. I wish I could have done a Gandalf, but everyone's already done that, so I had to get a little creative, you know. I was gonna do Sauron as well, but I thought I could do more with Balrog, I guess, but I don't know. I'm thinking of doing more builds in the future. This is just, you know, just a test, just to see what it would be like, just have fun being creative. I hope you guys liked the video. Please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos, if you want to see more builds, any suggestions, please comment down below. I love you guys so much. I will see you next time. Goodbye. Have a great day.